Okay, welcome back. This is the second lesson recording for IM2 on August 17th. So we're going to do some vocabulary work. So what are some of the vocabulary that you're going to see in equations? Well, x. We call this the variable because it represents a number that we don't know yet. Okay, it's a placeholder, so it's usually a letters like x or y or any letters on the alphabet. Then if you add a number like 4 in front of the variable, we call that coefficient because it's the number that is being multiplied by the variable. So 4x means 4 is being multiplied to x. If I subtract 7 from this term, 4x, or this expression, then this negative 7 is the constant. And what is the definition of constant? It's a number that is not multiplied by a variable. So if it's not being multiplied by the variable, it's a constant. Okay, so far we have an expression. 4x minus 7 is an expression. It has one term. 4x is one of the terms. Another term is negative 7 here. You can have as many terms as you want in an expression or as little as one. I suppose you need to have at least one term to be an expression. So then if we add an equal sign, it's equal to 5. Then this suddenly becomes an equation. So before 4x minus 7 was an expression, but when we add equal sign, it becomes equation. Okay, so notice the equal equation, they sound similar, right? So what you're saying is 4x minus 7 is equal in value to 5. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So what's the difference between expression and equation? Expression is a math phrase with some operations. Okay, like all of these are examples of expressions. Whereas equation has an equal sign claiming that the two expressions on either side have the same value. So you're saying that here at 3 plus 12 is same in value as 15. And you're saying that this is same in value to the what's on the right hand side. Okay, that's what the equal sign means, that they are equivalent or equal in value. So at this point, you're going to go to your classwork slides and you're going to do the class sort into expression and equations. It's going to look something like this. Okay, actually I moved this. So to do this, you need to go into edit mode, and I will change the setting for that in a minute. So let me go to the edit mode. You are going to be able to drag and drop different tiles. So for example, if I want to move this, okay, if I think 2x, that should be saying 2x minus 3 is equal to 5x plus 2. I can click on it and then drag it here, okay? Or if I think it's a equation, I can click it here and then drag it here and then drop it. Okay, so, and I've actually done this before. If you think this is negative 5x squared minus 7x is expression, you drop it here and so on. So can you pause the video and quickly do this now? Okay, so I'm assuming that you've done this. This should be what your tile should look like, or your slide should look like. Okay, here we go. You have 4 expressions and equations. 4 equations. And notice that equations, they all have equal sign. And expression, there is no equal sign there. Great. So equations, true or not. Okay, equations can be true, or it might not be true, or it might be sometimes true. What do I mean by that? Well, 3 times 4 is 12, and 6 times 2 is 12. They're equal in value. So this is true. Likewise is this equation. Likewise is this equation. However, look at the following equation. 3 times 4. What's 3 times 4 is 12. And 34. Is 12 equal in value to 34? Never, right? Okay, so sometimes you're going to get equations that are not true. And it's going to be a helpful skill for you to be able to determine whether equation is true or not. Because when you're checking, you are always looking for equation to become true. Okay, 12 plus x is 15. Well, this is true sometimes if the value of x is 3. but it's not true if x is 5. Because if I substitute 3 into this, 12 plus 3 is 15, so it makes this equation true. If I substitute 5 into this, 12 plus 5 is 17, so which is not equal to 15. So that's not going to be true. So solution is what a value that makes the equation true. So 3 is a solution here. It's the same example. 5 is not a solution here because it doesn't. The value for x to be 5 does not make this equation true. And solving, when we say solve or solving in math, it's really steps we use to find the possible solution, the value of the variable that makes the equation true. That's what it means. So when we're solving equation, one thing we need to keep in mind is making sure whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, that's the balance, if you do the same thing to the other side of the equal sign. So at this point, they are balanced because they are equal in value. Okay? So if you have x plus 4 is equal to 3, to find what x is equal to, what do? We do the opposite operation. Because why? X, what's happening to x? 4 is being added to it. So we need to get rid of this 4. How do we get rid of this 4? We are going to subtract 4 from the left-hand side. Why do we do that? Because we want this 4 minus 4 to get to 0. And why do we want that? Because we want to get to variable by itself. Because x plus 0 is just same as x, right? Now, if we did, why do we have to do the same operation to both sides? Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we need to do the same to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so if we got rid of this 4, which used to be here, now suddenly the balance is not stable anymore. It's not balanced anymore. So we need to do exactly the same. So we need to, on the other side, we need to take away 4 from the other side as well. And now we can say that the scale is balanced again and x is 2. Alright, so let's talk about the opposite operations. If you see x plus 4, what is the opposite operation of plus 4? Well, we have to subtract, right? Opposite of addition is subtraction. Okay, to get to 0. X plus 0 is equal to 2. And remember, that's the goal. Okay, what if we have x minus 5 is equal to 10? What is the opposite operation of subtract by 5? Is addition. Okay, so we are going to add 5 to both sides because x plus, then we'll get x plus 0 to be equal to 15. Alright. They go to 0 because we don't care if we add 0 to it. So that's the goal. We want to get to x is equal to 15 or x is equal to something. And x plus anything is just x, right? What if we have this equation, 5x is equal to 10, 5 is being multiplied to x, so opposite of multiplied by 5 is division, so we're going to divide both sides by 5, so that because 5 divided by 5 just becomes 1, so that's 1x is equal to 2, and what about opposite operation of division here? Remember, this fraction line means it's a divide operation. So x divided by 5. What's the opposite of dividing by 5? Is multiplying by 5. So we multiply both sides by 5, and the 5 divided by 5 cancels out, and you're left with 1x is equal to 15. A typical error in when students see this, they say, oh, x is being divided by 5. Oh, so I need to divide the other side by 5 as well. So then divide the other side. Well, that's not what, this is the original equation, okay? You need to be thinking about x is being divided by 5, so we need to undo this divide by 5. So we're going to multiply both sides by 5, okay? So why do we want it to go to 1x? Because we know that 1 multiplied by x, okay, 1x is just same as x, right? So that is the reason. Okay, what if the equation has a constant and a coefficient? Which do we remove first? Okay, so here 7x plus 3 is equal to 7. You need to be thinking about what is being done to x. 7 is being multiplied to x first because of the order of operation, and then 3 is being added to it. Okay, to find what the value of x is, you are going to have to undo everything that is being done to x. So we actually go in reverse order to jam this. So instead of doing grouping symbol and then parentheses and then multiplication, addition, multiplication, division, and then finally addition, subtraction, you're going to start from the bottom and you're going to go from addition, subtraction first, and then multiplication, division, and then exponents, and then grouping symbols. So here we are going to subtract, add and subtract first to get rid of these 3. And then you're left with 7x. Now 7 is being multiplied, so we need to undo. So we divide by 7, and you get x is equal to 2. So that's two-step equation. What if there's a parenthesis? You need to distribute, okay? Because this some number with a parenthesis right in front of it without the plus or minus operation means there is a multiplication. That's the default operation. So you need to distribute by multiplying -7 to both x and -3. And then from here, you do a two-step equation, subtract 21, and you get to x is equal to 4. Okay, is that the only way? Well, no, because if you have an example like this, okay, what do we do first? Well, we have this expression here and then -3. We want to get rid of this first, okay, because we want to get rid of adding and subtracting first. So -3, opposite of -3 is add 3, and then you're left with 2 times x minus 4 is equal to 16. And from here, yes, you can distribute and then solve as two-step equation. Another thing you could have done is, because 2 is being multiplied to the whole thing here, you can undo the 2 by dividing by 2. And you get left with x minus 4 is equal to 8. And then from here, add 4 to both sides, and you are left with x is equal to 12. A common mistake that a lot of students make is, oh, okay, I see this, so I'm just going to divide by 2 here, and I'm going to divide the right-hand side by 2. No, we can't do that. Why? Because whatever you do to one side, you can't just do it to part of the equal sign, part of the expression. You need to do it to the whole expression, okay? So you need to divide the whole thing by 2, and we're not quite ready to do that yet because we have this -3. So that's the reason we need to deal with the -3 first. Okay? All right, so this is your time to do some practice. We are gonna divide it into 4 different levels because everybody's at a different proficiency level and comfort level. So, Youngling level is the beginner, Padawan, Jedi Knight, and Jedi Master is the goal we want to get to. All right, so everybody's going to start with the Youngling level, and you are going to write a sentence about what is when a level seems challenging. You're going to write a sentence about what is challenging, watch the video for the explanation, and retry the problems in that level. Okay, and then move on to the next level. This is going to be group work. You're going to go into your group so that you can ask each other some questions if you get stuck. And then if you're still stuck, then you should be following these steps. Okay, so here are the problems that you are going to see in your slide deck as well. And everyone's starting with Youngling and going all the way to Jedi Master. Okay, so the video is going to stop. Okay, and the next slide tells you if you are getting stuck in the Younglings, you should be watching this video. If you're getting stuck in Padawan level, you should be watching this video, and so on. And then you should go back and tackle the problems again. Make sure you discuss with your group mates as well, please. Okay, and I'll be back for the final video.